Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I have April's theme for Old Plus New. It's Critters on the Move or Fun Fold Throwback. So each month we are spotlighting a different person on our collaboration team, and this time it's Helen over at Crafty Mama Diaries. Helen's super talented and sweet, and she is like the sketch queen, you guys. And she loves making 10 cards, one kit videos, and they're amazing. And so please go check her out. She makes really adorable, beautiful, amazing cards. And I just love her. So definitely go check out Helen. She'll be linked down below along with the rest of the collaboration team. And now let's make a card. So these are the supplies I'm using this month. So I'm definitely using new supplies. These shamrocks are from Lawn Fawn, and then this adorable set right here from the Colorado Craft Company. I picked this up from Not Too Shabby. And look at the way this is colored on the back. In fact, I'm just going to mimic this today. I'm going to leave my coloring in. So I'm using my favorite ink because I wanted to be able to use alcohol markers, and I'm using colored pencils, and I really wanted to share this. So I'm using the stamp platform, which I do really like. Right here, I forgot to nudge my paper back into the corner, and I left this in for y'all to see. It kind of then didn't stamp right, so I had to redo it. Happens to all of us. And if you're using the stamp platform, the one thing I can recommend is each time that you're about to re-stamp, just make sure you nudge your paper up into the top left corner and make it straight, and then you'll get a good impression. So that totally worked. I'm going to do the same thing for the little mice. And, you know, some of my mice are chilling out because they've been moving all day. And then the other mice are up and moving around. So I really love the way that these mice are illustrated. And I just loved this house because I thought it could be great for a fairy house, a gnome house, a mouse house, whatever. Okay, so the coloring and why I'm leaving all the coloring in today is pretty simple, but very dimensional. So I'm just laid down a warm gray, my lightest color, and I actually just colored the whole mouse. Now I'm going back in with a slightly darker color, just the next level, and I'm adding in some shadows. Now I'm bringing in colored pencils, and what I want to show you is the difference between a warm gray and a cool gray. So the warm gray has more of a tan, taupe, brown kind of tone to it, and then the cool gray is more blue. So a lot of times I know when people are coloring, you'll hear them reference a warm gray or a cool gray, and I just wanted to show you the difference. So I'm using my Prismacolor matte pencils, and I'm showing you here, I've added in a bit of detail here with that darker gray, and now I'm adding in very simple light colored pink with the next shade up. And I'm going to show you the difference there. And just when we start adding, it doesn't have to be too complicated. And I was sitting and coloring, and I was thinking about how if you bought just the light or maybe mid-tone of alcohol markers, maybe you want to start with Prismacolor, but you know, you don't want to make a huge investment, I would start with a light to mid-tone rainbow and then bring in colored pencils because they make a great addition to Copic coloring. So, you know, instead of buying a 3 or 4 color with the shades of one particular color with each color, that's still quite the investment when you're talking about a rainbow of colors. Maybe just buy one and then add in with your colored pencils all the other varying shades, the lighter shades, the darker shades. Just a thought that I had, if you're a beginner or you're just building your stash, that might be a good way to start. So I am just fully following the colors that were on this packaging. And I'm not going too detailed. I think I could have taken it a step further, but I still appreciate the detail and the variety that I did get with my colored pencils. So right now I'm just laying down a real base color for everything. I'm not doing multiple colors of Copics. I'm keeping it very simple and just getting color down on this little house. And now here I did go in and add just a little bit of a darker brown, but now that's it. So now I want to go in and add the darker shading and add the detail. What I like about colored pencils, I actually really appreciate the texture. When they're laid down lightly, like on the mice, it's texturized. It's not just a flat blended color, but there's actually texture like a fur. And then I like the texture that I got on this house as well. And now I'm just using that same warm gray color, which was French gray, here, and it added all the shadowing and texture that I really wanted. I think I could have gone in and added yet another layer, but it's not necessary. I like my results. I did kind of get out of the lines on that doorway, but I just colored the stones around it darker and it worked out. Here I'm actually going in with that cool gray and adding even more. It just adds a little bit of light to it all. So now I'm going to add in my window panes with reflection, which is just leaving some white lines essentially. And these flower petals, I colored with the Copic markers, and now I'm just going back with my colored pencils and I'm adding in my shadows. And I really like the depth of this. If you've been with me for a while, then I like to time myself. And when I do certain projects, I like to time it. And so it took me 15 minutes to color this house. And I believe that that time included the mice as well. So it doesn't take that much more time to do a Copic plus colored pencil coloring as it did, or as it would to do all Copic. Okay, this is a 5x7 card base. So it first measures 10x7. I scored at 5, and then I just used my little house to kind of gauge where I'd want to put the slit on that front panel. So this is going to be my Dutch door card. So this month I am doing a throwback to the Dutch door and also a throwback to Craft Roulette. You guys, if you missed it, on Friday was April Fool's, and I was on Craft Roulette. It's episode 106. And we had a twist, and the twist was my hubby, Dr. Shrub. He was there. He made his first card. We had such a great time. And the Dutch door was actually one of the parameters this week. I definitely encourage you to, of course, go watch the episode if you haven't yet. We had a wonderful time. It was a lot of fun. And go check out craftroulette.live. There's a gallery of over 100 cards. They're all going to have Dutch door examples. And then I know that Mary did Dutch doors on Fun University as well last week. So if you're intrigued by the Dutch door and you want more samples, definitely go check that out. You may be wondering, what is old plus new? I have a lot of new subscribers. Welcome, everyone. Old plus new is just a little thing I put together for 2022 with some crafty friends, and we have a theme each month, which is announced on the 5th. And then you'll see inspiration from people throughout the month. They post on the 5s, and it's just meant to get you crafting. It's meant to give you a jumping off point, a bit of inspiration, and to hopefully introduce you to new skills, new card making techniques and ideas, and new crafters. You're totally welcome and invited to play along. You just need to use the hashtag each month so that I can find you. And you can play along here or on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. So those are the two places you'll find me, is on Instagram and YouTube, and where you'll find this hashtag hop, this monthly hop. Old plus new can be anything you want. It can be old supplies and new techniques, new supplies, old techniques. It can all be old. It can all be new. It can be anything you want. So I splattered some perfect pearls on my ink blended background. And at this point, I still wasn't sure if I wanted to take the background further. So I left it like this. I really liked it like this. If I hadn't done the green down at the base that I ink blended, I probably would have left it. But when I went in and placed all of my little items around, it felt off. Like the top just felt a little off to me. So I'll show you in just a minute how I fixed that. Right now I'm just arranging a clover patch. I love clover, you guys. I don't know why. It just makes me happy. Probably because there's a little girl that lives inside of me who loves wishing and just loves happy things. And clover to me is a happy thing. So I'm just kind of randomly playing around here. And I did feel like I needed something to ground that house. If I was to do it again, I would have colored grass underneath the house and not fussy cut it so close to the edge, but it works for this card. I did come in with a stormy sky, and I felt like this really balanced it out. The difference between the top and the bottom just felt so heavy compared to the top, but adding this stormy sky around really seemed to help. It's risky when your whole card is done and then you're like, I'm going to ink blend around the edges. But luckily it all worked out. Now I'm going back in with some milled lavender and just doing a little more blending, getting it smooth. Actually, I was lucky because of this Dutch door. It was easy to separate the sky and the earth here, like for the ink blending. If this was just a one layer card, it would have been a lot trickier. I would have to mask off the base more. Now I am bringing in some clear enamel drops, and I'm going to add those in along with a few little stars. I couldn't help myself. I loved the idea of this being like twilight or, dusk or dawn. I just like the idea of the sky still having some sparkle in it. And this really finishes off my card. I am looking forward to this month and the inspiration. I'm sure you'll see lots of goodies from the team. So here is my card. I think it's so sweet. It was so much fun to make. Definitely adorable. After making it, I realized I really would like to have the dies to this set. Fussy cutting those mice was no small task, but it's definitely sweet. And I like overhanging some of the details there on that bottom part that overhang to the top. So that's kind of how I fixed the grounding of the house, and it really kind of worked for me. For the inside of the card, I just did a similar blend as the front. I don't know what kind of occasion I'll use it for yet, but it was a lot of fun, and I hope you feel inspired. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.